Relics Radio, your favorite weekly podcast dedicated to the metal detecting and treasure hunting community. Here are your hosts, Ken from Adventures in Dirt and Tony from 5280 Adventures.
Well, half of that's right, at least. Hey, everyone, DK here from Adventures in Dirt and the Relics Radio podcast. Good to see everyone joining me tonight. If I pushed all the buttons right, you're seeing me live because I am running blind tonight without my co-host, Tony, over from 58280 Adventures. He's out and about doing some things. He's going to be not able to join me tonight, but I will do my best to push all the buttons and to carry the show best I can. But you know what's great is that I have a bunch of co-hosts with me tonight. Actually got Jeff Luber coming over, and we got some great guests, Gypsy, Jules, we got Butch Holcombe. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring them right up to the show today. Here they come, Gypsy, Jeff, and Butch. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for joining us tonight over at Relics Radio. I've been looking forward to talking to you guys all day as I've been kind of planning the show. And Jeff, thanks for joining me. I think I invited you wrong, correct? I should have pushed another button that actually made you my co-host, and I didn't know that.
Is there a correct way to bring Jeff on?
Quietly step aside. That's it.
Gypsy and I are having fun with him because we were changing his title. You know?
Well, yeah, we do that occasionally. Yeah, we do that on our shows.
We couldn't even think of anything clean though, so we just dropped it.
Well, you two together, yeah. Imagine that.
yeah, Butch, we should have conspired on that a little earlier. That would have been fun.
Oh yeah.
But how is everyone?
I can only change my own title on here, so.
Yeah, now you're just a guest on here. But you don't have control.
I don't. It's scary. Well, not that I have control normally, but I try to.
We try not to
have some version of control, and don't try this at home, kids. I'm a trained professional.
We're gonna lose control tonight for sure. I can feel it coming in the air of the night. So how's everyone?
With any one of the people on this screen right now, with you, DK, I think we could lose control, but with all three of us, mother help us.
Yeah. Everyone just hold your breath, sit down, hang on. What do they say? It's going to be a night. Gypsy, where are you? Where are you these days? Man, you know what? I lose track of you because you're either over in
all over the globe,
some country, or over in the UK.
Well, I'm actually home right now, and but I leave this weekend to travel to West Texas to go to a family reunion, but hopefully I'll get to do some metal detecting this weekend. It's near a old Civil War fort, and usually every time I get to go that way, I see also there's some friends that you all may know that live in Graham, Texas. I actually met them at one of the metal detecting events in Florida. And then come to find out they lived in Graham, Texas. And I said, hey, I've got cousins that live there. So every time I go to the family reunion, I get to go, spend some digging time with them as well. So I'm looking forward to that. But I guess I'll be in Texas for a few more weeks, and then I'll be going to Arizona next, I think.
Family reunions are fun, aren't they?
They are. Yeah. They are.
I used to go to them to meet girls. Jeff, don't smile. I know you've been there.
We don't have family reunions anymore. I mean, last family reunion I went to, I was probably 10 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got some sad news tonight, don't you, DK?
Yeah, we do. We want to start to show off kind of with, mentioning this, a good friend of the community for sure. Kelly Underwood passed away. Kelly had been really battling some stuff there for a while, and we wanted to mention her passing. She was a member of the History Seekers, but she was also well known in the community and very involved in many different aspects of our community. And some of you may have known her from various aspects of that, right? So we really want to ask for prayers for Kelly's family and for Heath Jones and all those that were touched by Kelly's presence in their life. I did want to mention and post in the chat here that there will be services for Kelly on Sunday, September 1st at the Dryden's Funeral Home in 1467 Almond Street in Heflin, Alabama, 36264. Visitation will start at 1 p.m. Central Time and services will start at 2 p.m. Central Time. And if you can at all make it, I know it would be very important for Heath and the rest of the Underwood family to see you there, to show your support. And, I know a lot of us got involved with Kelly's life here recently, and the GoFundMe account was really pushing for a lot of improvement in Kelly's condition. But sadly, she passed. But you said you had a chance to talk to Heath, and you want to chat about that a little bit.
Yeah, I guess, Heath and Kelly have been a couple for a long time, many years, and I've detected with them many times as well, and spent time with them, and I consider them both really good friends. Heath is more than just a friend. He's been someone that's pulled me along in several aspects of the hobby, and Kelly along with that as well. They were both part of this community of ours. I mean, Kelly was in admin in many of a group out there, I know. So she's, in the women's metal detecting group, and I think detecting the Heartland. I couldn't tell you how many of groups she's been an admin for, but she's really, was a major force in a lot of these. So sweetheart of a girl too. I mean, every time I was hanging out with her, it was, it wasn't just detecting, it was true friends.
Yeah.
So she will be missed.
She did so many things behind the scenes too. So many things people didn't see. Especially with the history seekers. Like
Yep.
Keith and I have been connected through YouTube for quite a long time. I used to feature him on, Weekly Dirk a lot. So we had a lot of times to kind of chat back and forth. We've had him on the podcast a number of times. And so a lot of the arranging, a lot of the, going back and forth, and, he was always generous, kind of donating prizes to some of our events, Jeff. And, Kelly was sort of coordinating all that stuff. So that's where I got to kind of know her, was through all that coordination. And a lot of times when you have a YouTube channel, right, you have all these people that are on camera, and Kelly was on camera numerous times, but she did a lot of stuff behind the scenes for that, that really made their channel a success. So,
and she was huge into genealogy, just like you, DK.
I was going to say
one of her passions. So.
Yeah, we shared that interest for sure, and it's always cool when you can meet another genealogist to swap tips and tactics, and so she's going to be missed by, I know, a lot. I'm seeing in the chat here people are saying, oh, I got my first detector from History Seekers, and I'm sure Kelly was a part of that. So prayers go out to her family.
To show how strong that those two are and were with Kelly, although she's still always going to be there in spirit. Even in her sickness, I think we're going to be talking tonight about the birthday bash hunt. Heath actually texted me a couple of days ago and sent a picture of the metal detectors that they're sending. So, even as sick as she was, they both were still carrying through with the hobby. Just a great loss, not only as a friend, but somebody that really had an impact in the detective.
Yeah, so we're gonna, we'll be thinking about her and her family, and wishing them peace, and sometimes you just got to grieve and get through times like this. But wishing Heath strength and all the Underwood family for sure. And,
absolutely.
And we'll be thinking about you for sure. So if you can at all make it to the services, I just posted it in the chat group, and I'll actually put it in the description of this. So if you need it, if you're listening on the replay later to Relics Radio, you can go down the description and you can see the information I'll post as to where the services are there in Alabama. So yeah, wow. Yeah. Sad news.
So all we have promised is this moment. So everyone should remember that. We may not be here tomorrow. We may not be here next year. we, they go
Yeah, and
back.
it's really important to support Heath and the family during this time because like you said, we're all one big community. We all love to do the same thing, and supporting each other during such a tough time um, is very important. And like you just said, um, Butch, even during one of the toughest times, which he knew that Kelly was going downhill,
Yes.
and yet he was still working hard in the community. It's getting me all teary eyed, but you know what I'm saying. We need to be there for Heath and
Exactly.
And her
her
family.
family as much as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get on with the show. I know, we didn't want to bring the show down, of course, but we definitely have to mention anytime somebody important like that that has touched our lives passes, we definitely need to mention that for sure. But tonight we're here to talk about some metal detecting. I know, boy, the experience we have in my 3 guests right now is pretty amazing. Heath, how long? Butch, how long you been metal detecting?
Going on 54 years, I believe. And which is amazing because I'm only 60, so I started young. No, I'm a little over 60, but yeah, 54 years.
That's pretty amazing. That's a long time.
I'll be here till the day I die.
That's almost as long as I've been alive, and that's scary.
Well, between the 3 of us, Jeff, Gypsy, and myself, we're well over the century mark. So
Just between you and me, Butch, we're over a century.
I wasn't going to say that, Jeff, but yes.
That's amazing.
And Debbie Schiffer Blades, who I think is probably going to be on the chat tonight, but she's our right-hand man in American Digger when we travel to the shows.
All right.
And she's going to actually be at this hunt, too, that we're going to be talking about. So hopefully she can chime in and all. But when she was brought on board with the magazine, we knew she metal detected. I had no idea until I talked to her. She's metal detected almost as long as me.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, that's if you ever run into her, you'll know she's the real deal.
No, that's good. That's a good partner.
She's the only person I ever know that found part of a Civil War cannon. I mean, not a cannonball, a cannon.
Wow. Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Jeff's seen it.
Yep.
We're envious.
Incredible.
Yes.
What was it? Was like a piece of the back end of it?
It was the back end of it. It was the part that said U.S. and it was a 12 or a 10-pound parrot. And the thing is, where she found it, they've been able to research it. They know the exact details of the cannon blowing up. There's
wow.
That just gave me goosebumps, man.
And to make it even more special, it was Chicago Board of Trade battery, which was an artillery battery in the Civil War, made up of the Chicago Board of Trade people. So how can you get more historical than that? I don't know, but she just posted down there. It says 4th Regiment, Battle of Lovejoy, Georgia. So yeah, she knows exactly where it came from.
That's insane.
It's so ridiculous. I mean, to me,
it really is. I mean, I keep telling her she should give it to American Digger, but she's keeping it, I think.
That's a find of a lifetime right there.
Oh yeah, I've never found one, and I found a lot of cannonballs, but I've never found the cannon.
So, well, and talk about exceptionally rare. I mean, yeah, you find pieces of cannonballs. They shot thousands of those during the war.
Exactly where I was going with it. We talk about that on the show all the time. You can find, and it's great. You can find pieces of stuff. You can find a fuse. You can find all this different stuff, and it's a piece of it. And you go like, that is so cool, and it has a special place on your display rack or whatever. But to get to the research and find out all that information, that made goosebumps come up because
it's cool.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah, we'll have to get her to tell us the whole story one night, but. She actually, in the research she did on this, we found out that none of the cannon crew was even injured, despite the fact that gun blowing up with them right behind it, nobody was injured. And the piece she found was, I believe, about 200 or 300 yards away from where it blew up. So,
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of force there.
Incredible. So I'm going to
legend has it that she may be donating that to the hunt we're having in November.
Oh my
What
God.
about it, Debbie? You want to donate it?
Oh my gosh. No pressure, Debbie. No pressure. No pressure at all.
I'm gonna be in trouble. No, it's hers.
Okay, so Gypsy and Jeff, you guys think about that. An item you have either found or that a friend has found or that you knew about that was able to be traced. Like one of your cool stories about something like that. I'm going to go ahead and shout out some people that have showed up here in the chat. And I'm going to go through this real quick. And you guys just think about an item you can tell us about, because I love stories like that. Absolutely love stories like that. So you guys put on your thinking caps. Want to say hello to Bill Hayes, Ohio Relic Hunter, the two Bills. Boy, they're always showing up back to back. E Tector. How you doing, bud? Yeah, just detecting, Mr. Melcher. Is that M? Oh, Miss M Melcher. Gotcha. Good to see you. Detect SD, Detecting South Dakota. Good to see you. I think he just got together one of our buddies actually out there. So love the connection between the show and people out there in real life for sure. Thank you for that. Wanted to say hello to Ben Farrar. Good to see you. And Debbie, we were just talking about Debbie Schiffer Blades. How you doing, Debbie? You got it. No pressure on sending that item over to Butch there for that Butch and Gypsy for that hunt. Detect Indig Ski Searcher Matt, how you doing, man? Indiana Tones, good to see you, Lou. Yeah, going through here, lots of people showing up for sure.
There's 5280 Adventures in there too somewhere.
Come on,
little
man.
dirt diggers on there too.
Oh, what's up, Emily? How are you? Kevin Crans. Yeah, a 5280 Adventures. If you can show up in the chat, man, you can come on camera and you can push some buttons. So what's up with that? No,
I think you might be at a remote location, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely it. Ohio River history. Good to see you. Thanks everyone for showing up tonight. We appreciate your support here on the show and showing up for the live streams here. And for those of you that are listening on the replay, you can catch the live stream video over here on 5280 Adventures every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we show the video stream, and then we take the audio replay and send it over to Spreaker and upload the audio over there. For those of you that continue to like to download the audio as you're driving your truck or as you're working out or doing stuff later in the week, we see your numbers, we see out there, and we definitely appreciate you. Make sure you drop me a line, let me know who you are. I would love to meet every one of you out there. So what do you guys think? Gypsy, we just told an amazing story that Butch was talking about. I love stories like that. I love stories like that, and I love return stories too. So have you ever come up with something or been close to something or associated with a find that you were involved and knowledgeable about it, sort of being researched, and it was amazing?
Well, this year, I found a dog tag. We were hunting a fort here in Texas, a World War II fort, and I have researched it, and I found, and supposedly the owner of that tag is still alive. He's supposed to be 100 years old,
Wow.
and he's in California now. Was stationed. I've got his whole life story.
Oh my gosh.
You can find it on the internet, but apparently he is in a some sort of assisted living type thing, and I haven't been able to contact him directly. I don't know if he's unable or what, but still trying to at least research and find the family. If I can do that, that would be amazing to be able to return it directly to him. If he's in capacity to remember that, I don't know, but it was amazing to find, because I found dog tags before that I couldn't quite trace, but at a World War II camp, pretty amazing. I just found something this last weekend that I'm working on. I've got it right here. You're probably not going to be able to see that,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a tag that I found at an old dump, and it has a name on it. And if I can remember the name, I don't have my glasses on, my cheats, but it was something.
Use
last
mine.
name. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Just
But-
reach up there and hand them to her, Jeff.
Anyway, I am working on doing some research. Something, the last name, Knight. I can't remember right now, but Says 1917 on it. Um,
Cool.
and it has the, I think, Bonham, Texas,
Hmm.
which is a little ways from here, but you know, Texas is a large state. So it's amazing to find. I love things like that with writing where you can trace, and that canon story is just flipping amazing. Never found
Yep.
anything like that, but
Well, I mean, it's things like that. What about you, Jeff?
Oh, gosh, I can't even compete with those. I mean, honestly, when you mentioned it, I was like, I ran over and grabbed, shell casing.
Yeah.
Well, gosh dang, it's not
Well,
Maynard. It is a Gallagher.
Yeah.
Oh, that is, I believe. That's
Hey,
a tough
sure
one.
is 50 cal.
Yeah.
That's a tough casing. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, it's perfect condition, perfectly
And, you know,
round all the way around it. And
what's
actually,
weird, Jeff, those came in on that in the metal casing. They also had a paper casing version of the paper.
yes,
I mean, not Maynard, the what you said there.
yeah, the brass, the copper casing, brass casing, and then also a paper. But this came from a site in eastern Colorado, and we know that the 7th Iowa was out there.
7th
7th
Iowa.
Iowa used
There
the
you go.
Gallagher.
So
So,
that's who lost
yeah,
it.
being that I'm from Iowa as well, that was one of those things that I really truly wanted to find when I was out there, and well, I have one.
Very
So,
cool. Very
that's
cool.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah, that is awesome for sure. Great stories. Yeah, I agree with y'all. I love things you find that you can either return or trace down the lineage of it, or even things you don't know that you go learn about it. You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah,
that's what our hobby should be, a gateway to learning more about what we find. Well, I mean, when
Right.
we find something and preserve it, that's really just the start of it. Turn over a few stones and ask the Google a few questions and talk to your friends, come to shows, figure out more about it
yeah,
and who owned it. And I'm like Gypsy. I found an ID tag or a dog tag, but mine was Civil War era. And
Oh, wow.
the guy that owned it actually was the son of a very, very prominent citizen in Connecticut. The son was charged with desertion and pretty much was on his way to a court martial until his father stepped in and all charges were dropped. So there's a little mystique that goes with that one.
That's amazing.
That
Yeah,
is
if
amazing.
I could just find a picture of him, I know what his father looked like.
wow.
Wow.
Well, that's because you were buddies with him back in grade school.
Yeah, we both went to the 3rd grade twice together.
That is great. I mean, when I first started detecting, I tell the story a lot. I really thought it was all be about the finds, and quickly it evolved into much more than the find itself. But
Yeah,
all the things I've learned since then, it makes my head spin. All the things I've learned and the stories that I've been surrounded, and the stories I've heard being involved in social media. It's just amazing, and the fact I'm in genealogy helps me kind of locate people and things and survivors and stuff. So I've had a lot of listeners contact them. I've been involved in many, many return stories when it comes to World War I dog tags, World War II dog tags, class rings, stuff like that. And one time we were out digging, and the landowner said, "You guys want to see something cool?" And she took us way back on her property in the middle of this prairie here in Colorado. There was nothing around, no home sites, no nothing. And there was a grave with a gravestone, and it was a captain from the Civil War.
Oh, wow.
Union captain, had his name, had his birth and date. So of course, I went to look him up, and there's a website out there called findagrave.com, and it's got all this information. You can search for grave sites of people, and I sort of looked him up on there real quick and found him, but the burial and where he died, it just said Colorado, gravesite unknown.
Wow.
So then I talked to the landowner. I said, "Oh, the family, somebody posted this up, and they really don't know where he's buried." And she said, "Yeah," because I asked her, I said, "Would you like me to pass the information along? It'll help fill in that hole." in the historical record. And she said, I'd rather not, so she's the landowner. I had to respect her wishes, and I didn't, but I got to research the gentleman, and boy, I learn all about his family, where he came, where he lived when he was a little kid. He was a prisoner at, was Andersonville, I think, if I remember. Just crazy. But yeah, you learn all that stuff and where you didn't know it before, so now you feel a little richer for knowing about this person's life.
Did you give her that report?
I did. I kind of told her all about his life, and he didn't have much lineage, so he didn't have any surviving children. His wife was the local postmistress in the area for the time they lived there. They did have a daughter, but she never had any kids, and it kind of died out. The line kind of died out. I even have a picture of him. One of his family members had quite a lot of information about him, and even a picture of him. And then I tried to contact that person that had all that information, and I don't know, they never responded. So I don't, they could have passed by now. It could have been an older family member or something, but yeah, just makes my goosebumps all the time when I think about that. And that's it's one of a lot of stories like that.
It's kind of like, it's almost like actually meeting ghosts. I mean, we're holding something and researching something, looking at pictures and having direct connection with people that are long gone from the earth. So it's kind of mystical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get the goosebumps out of that, then you're in the wrong hobby.
Yeah, that's right.
But honestly, there's all kinds of aspects of the hobby, though. I mean, all of us that are here right now, we love the relic hunting and the history and all that. There's people out there that love to, use the metal detector to go prospecting. There's others that love to, go out and hit the parks and find the coins and jewelry. There's other people that love to go to seated hunts and such.
That's right.
Jeff, the king of segues. You go, boy. You go.
Great segue, Mr.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here talking about metal detecting. We're also here to talk about an amazing event coming up. There's all these metal detecting events. Hasn't it been crazy how many they've been kind of jumped on the scene over the past 5 years or so? Like, just crazy. But we have a really good one coming up. And Gypsy, why don't you tell us a little bit about it? We'll start there, and then there's a lot of information we're ready to give you on this.
Yeah, I had my first one 2 years ago, Gypsy Jules' birthday bash. And then last year on some East Texas property not far from where I live, and some family property, actually. And then I invited America Digger Magazine, to see if they wanted to come set up a booth, maybe be a sponsor, etc. And talking to Butch and Anita over there, and they're like, well, one-day hunts just don't work as well for us. What about making a 2-day hunt? We've been wanting to do a hunt for a while. And speaking of birthdays, it's their birthday for America Digger Magazine, their anniversary. So what a perfect way to celebrate.
That's right.
So that's when Butch said, hey, would you be interested in adding another day to your hunt? And I said, hey, why not? Because, I think it was only about 3 years ago I met you, Butch.
I think something like that, yeah.
One of the events, I think it was actually up in New York, maybe.
Come to think of it, I think it was.
And then from there, I mean, I've known Jeff a lot, I think a lot longer. I'd met Jeff at one of those hunts up there as well before you. I'm thinking I may know DK even longer than all of y'all. When did we meet? Do you remember?
I didn't think you were going to test my memory.
I don't think we met. We met like back when I first started my YouTube channel, but I think we met in person. That was probably about 6-7 years ago when I went to Colorado to an event, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking 7, yeah.
About 7 years ago. So anyway, that's what's so wonderful about all these events is you meet people in the hobby that love what you do. I think I met Jeff at one of the same events where I think I might have met Butch for the first time, but I also met Jeff at one of the Garrett hunts, I think, as well.
Yep. And I think
And
originally
so,
we met at the Pound the Ground.
and yeah, I
And
think we very first met at Pound the Ground.
That was
I don't,
2019.
That might have been where I met you too, I believe.
yeah. And then after that, we start seeing some of our friends that we've met at these different hunts, all over. And we become friends, and we have great times together. Like Teresa there, I met her, I think, at the one in Oklahoma. And it was funny. She was a total stranger, and she messaged me and said, "Hey, you want a room together?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I didn't know this person. So it's funny how, I, we just meet some of our closest best friends, and we may live a ways away, but it's such a great way. And it's great. These events are great for newbies as well
Oh yeah.
as seasoned detectorists, because the newbies, it gives them a chance to really experience their metal detector, really get out there and learn it, because there's going to be targets out there, like there will be at our hunt in the seated hunts, as well as natural finds. So, what a great way to just learn more about the hobby, to win prizes, to meet great people. And, occasionally I hear people that complain, well, why don't you have Gypsy, your event over here in another state? Well, I'm from Texas, and there's usually events in all these other states as well. And most of us, I look at it as a vacation. When I go, and I know Jeff, when he goes to the UK or goes to one of these hunts, we all look at it as a vacation, and we love metal detecting. So why not get to go to one of these events? You may end up spending a little bit more money for travel and getting plane ticket if you're coming, but we have people signed up from, I think, New York, Colorado. Um, do you remember all Butch yet? We've got
I don't.
lots.
I haven't really looked at the list, but I know they're from all over.
They
And
are.
that's one of the great things about these hunts, Gypsy, as you mentioned, you'll learn to use your metal detector and all for newbies. This is a great time for people that are more experienced to show you how the tricks of the trade, how to find more with your detector.
Yes.
If you're in a
Yes.
controlled environment, you don't even have to go door knocking. You pay your fee, and there you are.
Right. That's the best part.
Mhm.
And I know, Jeff, you and Butch saw this last time, but I've been adding to it. So this is an example. I
Oh
found
boy.
this little treasure box at a local store. It's metal. It's a wooden box, but it's got metal on the outside. But it's got all kinds of stuff in there, like money, $100
Whoa.
bill.
Hey, come on now.
Hey.
We've got
Just
all
showing
kinds
off.
of coins. We've got even Civil War bullets in there. I've got a thing of jewelry in here. I just bought a bunch of pocket knives. These are great because they've got where it can carabine onto you. So great little pocket knife, which we always can use those when we're
Oh
out
yes.
detecting. It's got silver dollars, silver dimes in it, all kinds of goodies and treasures. And so I've got so far about 150. This is a bigger one, but I've got some smaller ones that I've gotten, and about 150 caches that I'll be planting,
Oh my
as
gosh.
well as the silver coins. Prize. We'll be planting prize tokens. We'll be planting just all kinds of stuff. And who wouldn't love to dig a cache? I mean,
I would.
come on. I want to go hunting
I've
with
never
one,
dug a cache. Jeff, you
right?
ever dug a cache, Jeff?
Well, just one small one. It was all counterfeit coins.
Cache
Oh,
of
That's
counterfeit
cool.
coins?
That's too cool.
Well, there's no
I would
counterfeit
love
coins in
to.
Gypsy's treasure chest. I can
No,
tell you
no,
that.
there's no counterfeits going to be there that week. Nope, nope. And
Right.
that's and you're talking about, okay, that's Gypsy's hunt on Saturday, which is going to have a ton of stuff. And then we're going to have our hunt on Sunday, American Diggers Hunt, which is another ton of stuff. But also that night, we're going to have a Halloween hunt. It was actually spearheaded by Debbie of Mind Lab.
Oh,
And
wow.
she got with Gypsy, and I know they're going to come up with something great. But we were even talking about having a night Halloween hunt and also maybe wear costumes. Maybe even have a costume contest.
That's
Maybe
cool.
we'll give a prize.
For the best costume on
I
top
think
of
that
it.
would be good. Yeah.
We can
I'm going
just
to dress as a
paint,
publisher.
we can paint Butch white, and you've already got like this. We'll put you in a Confederate.
So you'd be like a ghost, a Confederate ghost.
Yes.
Goes to the Confederacy.
No. You know that, have you ever been to Debbie's night hunts? Boy, they're fun. Those
They
are
are
No, I
very fun.
haven't. But when she approached me about that, I'm like, oh, great idea. And I talked to Gypsy, and it's like, oh, this is going to be fun. So I've got a few ideas I'm going to throw at them too. And I tell you, this is going to be an awesome time.
It's going to be
Really,
amazing.
it's
We're going to
gonna-
have a food truck there. We're also, Butch and I are going to be providing, well, we're going to have, another friend of mine is bringing in a big grill, and they're going to be grilling also hot dogs and hamburgers. That way, if you don't want to leave that evening on Saturday night to go get you anything to eat, you just want to stay there and hang out, you can grab something to eat there and then be ready for the night hunt. So it's going to be flipping amazing. I'm so excited. The property is absolutely beautiful. If you go to my last year's video, you can see part of the hunt field. And I'm sure it's going to be, we've extended it for this year because we're expecting more people, and then with adding Butch. So grab your tickets, folks, because this one's going to be talked about for a long time, right? Right, Butch?
Oh, it will be absolutely. If anybody's ever gone to a hunt where Gypsy and I are together, you're going to see some wild stuff like the karaoke night up at Canoa. But you know, Gypsy's in the front row just egging me on, and I had fun. But somebody just asked, is Gypsy's event Saturday and Sunday? Gypsy, I believe your event is Saturday, and then American Diggers will be Sunday.
Yeah, so the stuff that I plant will be in the field on Saturday, and the stuff that America Digger will be on Sunday. But the whole event is ours. We're going to have
It is
prizes, door prizes, raffles, you name it. So really, kind of both days for both of us, really, because
You
we're
guys
gonna
are-
be there.
it's her birthday and American Digger's anniversary, so we're just going to have basically one big fun detecting party.
Well, you guys are talking about this event and all that stuff. How do we get entry? Where do we go find the entry form?
Well,
I'm glad you asked.
funny you mentioned that there, Jeff. So I'm going to show you some of the prizes. You guys are just amazing on the segues here.
Now these are just prizes I've sent you. I don't even think Gypsy sent the prizes.
I haven't even sent my prizes yet.
So you're talking about double this, plus it's going to be more added. So
yeah. So real quick, Birthday Bash 2024, November 1st through the 3rd. It starts on the Friday in Pittsburgh, Texas. For those of you listening on the replay, you'll find links to how you can find tickets and more information right down in the description of this live stream, and also on the description of the audio podcast. And I'm posting it in the chat over here, so you can always go back and look through the chat and find the link. But yeah, the Birthday Bash sounds great. I've been wanting to make it to this one. So I'm still on the fence. I got some other things around this time. I'll see if I can make it, but check out some of these collections of prizes. You just saw the treasure chest Gypsy has. She's got a lot more than that, but this is some of the stuff Butch sent me. Hey, it's an F-Pulse pinpointer. Those are really cool. Let me see. We got this, just the pinpointer here, Butch, or is that all
I
in
think
front
it's a
of
pinpointer and detector.
Yes.
I took all these pictures, and the prizes have been piling up so much I'm losing track. Really.
Well, let me go through
that's
some of
my
these.
hand there, but
That's your hand? Oh, okay,
that's
sorry.
my hand.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah, that's Gypsy.
the score there as
turn my
well
head
from
sideways.
Knock to Macro. I think
Yep.
that is pretty much as soon as it came out, they sent us one.
Yeah.
And,
They did.
Butch can tell you also a lot more about our sponsors. I know we've got Nocta Macro, we've got Mine Lab, and of course we've got Garrett. Look at those beautiful America Digger
Oh,
coins.
by the way, when you're digging our tokens, you might want to dig up bottle caps if you hear them because they're good for prizes too. So
Yeah.
Not
most
all of
of
them,
it's
though.
going to be easy discriminating targets, but if you want to go for something unusual, dig one of these bottle caps.
Yep.
We
There's
were
an
talking,
ultra.
I think that is from Heath Jones History Seekers. I'm not certain of that, or I'm looking for the sponsors right now. Of course, I don't have it right in front of me.
All the manufacturers are usually very generous
Yeah,
to
the
hunts like this
manufacturers
and
are
support
all
our
jumping
community.
into this, and at first, people, because of her connection with Garrett, people were thinking of Gypsy's hunts as just Garrett, but when we joined first forces, that opened it up to everyone. So it's just going to be great. We're going to get all kinds of people sponsoring. Detect America jumped on board today. They're sending out an ugly box or two.
Are they?
Just look at the
Somebody
prices
else
in this
came on
alone.
board today.
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
Excalibur Shovels is there now.
Oh, perfect. Thank
So,
you. Thank you.
And there's going to be vendors there too. So
Mhm.
Yes,
get
there will
your
be
stuff
vendors.
They all step up. I'm telling you. That Adventures in Dirt guy may throw something your way too.
that would be awesome.
I know that guy. You know that?
You know, the generosity in our detecting hobby is really great because honestly, I mean, you know, it sounds like people rake in a lot of money from these hunts, but I was shell shocked when I started to buy silver for this hunt. I've already spent right at $4,000, not on just coins, but also on things like you see here. And you know, I'm kind of taking on faith we're going to have plenty of people signing up, and so far everybody's jumping on board. But I couldn't do it without these sponsors. So thank you to everyone that's donated.
Right.
These seated hunts, I don't know about y'all, but I've been to a few of them. We've held a few of them here in Colorado, and you know, everyone loves the silver, and that's great. You know, you get the silver. But these kind of things right here on the screen, these
Yeah.
things thrill me. They just thrill me. I love these things. Relics. Are you kidding? There's a plate.
I like
Yeah.
that canteen there.
Oh, that
I
canteen
love
is
that
100% Civil War too. The way you can tell, Jeff will verify this for me, is it has actually 3 little tabs on the side. The strap goes all the way around, whereas later canteens just had 2 nubs on the top to hold the strap. So there's your public service announcement. You know
Very good.
what's funny is that I was on another site and people were talking about what they did and didn't like to dig at hunts, and somebody said, I hate digging up relics that I didn't, you know, find myself. Well, what you can do at these hunts, if you want to, if you win one of these relics and you don't like it, swap it to someone for a coin or sell it. I mean, it'll always work out if you let it, because used to at the hunts, my very first ones, I was more into the relics, and I would swap coins and silver I would find for other things people didn't want, like Civil War relics, things like that. So you can make yourself happy out of it.
That's
Look
so
at this.
true.
Yeah,
Sorry.
look at the canteen. You're not going to find a canteen like that.
No,
You're
not
gonna be
right.
that. Impossible. It'd be so rusty you can't do anything with it. This is actually a non-dug canteen.
And that's so true, Butch. I know I've been to so many hunts where, yeah, there's some people that just want the silver. There's some people that just want the relics or the metal detectors or the prizes. A lot of people are willing to, hey, I'll offer you trade silver this for and a little cash for that prize. I know someone that won a couple years ago at one of those canteens. Those canteens are worth like
about $200,
yeah, dollars, and they just sold it. They didn't want it because
that's right.
And so
that's
they
all
sold
you got to
it.
do. If nothing else, take it back, put it on eBay, then buy coins with the money.
Yeah, and just that one prize would there praise for your entry, right? I mean, you got your money back. So I mean, Uh, Now, of course, there are hunters. I was reading something the other day. You know, you've always had the negative Nellies and stuff like that, or like
Sure.
uh, that want to talk about, oh, well, I go and I didn't find anything but a few little coins or something. I didn't make my money back. Well, there's always going to be people at some of these hunts that have more experience and they might really get
Right.
lucky and they might end up with 20 tokens that prize tokens and there's always those people that get really lucky and have all that. And that you may not, but it's like we were talking about a while ago, the experience, the friendships. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
cannot, it's priceless. That part of it is priceless.
The
It
best
really,
part of the
the
whole hunt.
experience.
Seriously.
The experience. You know, if I've been before I went to these seated hunts, I went to big natural hunts like DIV and some of the other hunts. I never found enough to cover my expense. And I never cared because I wasn't going to sell the stuff. It was the experience of finding it and getting out there and communicating with other people and finding out settings on your detector, etc. And if you go to a hunt strictly with the attitude of it better pay my expense, then you're better off not going to the hunt. Just get
Right.
on the website, buy some coins, buy some relics. Don't bother with coming to a hunt. It all depends, Gypsy, on how hard you hunt too. It's luck. But if you're digging 5 holes to another person's 1 hole, you're going to
Right.
find a lot more.
Yeah. And that's the thing, some people have a faster recovery. They can get down there, they dig it out, they're gone in just a second. Where others, as we get a little older, our recovery speed
We
may not
slow down.
be as fast. The knees get a little more rickety as you get older
What
and
are you
all
trying to
that.
say, Gypsy? You talking about us here? What are
I'm
you
talking
trying
about
to say?
myself here. I'm talking
Has
about
anybody
myself.
here seen Bill Hayes metal detected at an event? He's on the chat tonight. Bill actually walks in a crouch so that he is closer to the ground
There
to
you
get the
go.
targets.
Yep.
And if you can dig Bill Hayes at this hunt, then we ought to give you a prize of your own. But the more you dig, the better you're going to do.
Exactly. It's so
Yep,
true.
there are tips for, if you want to. I mean, a lot of seated hunts, people see them as competition, and you
Yeah.
could do that if that's, if that's what you're into. Yeah, absolutely. There are tips and tricks on kind of how to recover more, and but yeah, I mean, even if you don't know it, or even if that's not what you're looking for, the friendships and the camaraderie, you're gonna find it.
You
It's
are.
hard not to find that, and
It's really hard. Yeah. I mean, because we're all there. We all love the hobby. That's why we're there.
Oh, absolutely.
It might be the different aspects, like you're saying. Some like relics, some like coins, some like, just the competition of it. Some like, just getting there and meeting people. But that's why we're there. The passion of the metal detecting, and so we all have that in common. And it's easy to strike a conversation with just anybody there, and it's all good.
We're
Right.
one big family. I mean, there's like any family, we got great people and we got some weirdos like myself, but we're still one big family. We put the fun in dysfunctional.
Hey, we had a couple questions come in real quick. James Warren wants to know how many spots are left. They must be going quick. You have been kind of promoting this a lot. We still got some spots open.
I
Gypsy,
think
Butch?
we've got a little over 100. I haven't counted lately. In fact, while we're on here, I saw that Corey asked a question a while ago, and I just saw it flash that I think he just bought a ticket. Yeah, Corey just did.
Yep.
Excellent.
So,
He said
so
he'd only
he,
signed up for Saturday and he just paid
did-
for Sunday's hunt off.
yeah, because I think Corey was one of the first ones that signed up for my hunt before we added American Diggers.
There
So
you go.
thanks, Corey. Glad you're going to be there both
We
days.
look forward to it.
And so if you haven't signed up for the second day, that's on Sunday, that will be America Diggers. So again, I'll be there. We're all in it. I'm gonna be helping Butch and America Digger for their hunt, and I'm sure it'll be vice versa for mine. I'm gonna be helping them plant after the for the next day getting ready and all of that. So it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a blast. It really is. And
My goal is for everybody as much as possible to have a good time here. And we got a question I wanted to answer. Patrick wanted to know, will we be burying any quad in any of the seated hunts in this event now?
no.
Okay, Gypsy's not. We are burying quads as tokens only. They're painted quads. They will have numbers on them, but they are only tokens. Anything that's not a token is going to be silver or old.
Oh, I will say, I bought some, the other day I was at the bank and I bought some dollar coins.
Dollar coins, that's right. You gave
Um,
me that idea. We will do some of them too. But
Dollar
otherwise,
coins, I will throw some of those. Those are clad, but to me, those are fun to find. They're worth a whole dollar.
they're a
I
dollar.
mean,
Yeah,
come on, that adds up. You find several of those, you pay for your meal or something, or
Exactly.
or
it's like going to the beach looking for jewelry, and you come home with $10 in clad. You paid for your gas and paid for a meal or something. So yeah.
And that's
and
great using clad as tokens. I'll tell you what, because if you're the type of hunt that only use a certain type of tokens, and people
Oh
can
no,
discriminate out for that if they learn what those tokens are,
right.
yeah, those people are going to find a
I've
lot of
seen
tokens.
that. I saw that early on at token hunts. So I made sure on the American Digger Day at least, we're going to have a wide range of things that are tokens. Most of them are going to give you a decent signal, but like the bottle caps I pulled up earlier, well, you're going to pass up bottle caps, you might pass up a token.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't want to discriminate. Zero
You want to be
discrimination.
Zero
careful.
discrimination, right, Gypsy?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Corey had a question, it looks like. And
Mhm.
Corey, yes, your wife is more than welcome to walk around, and maybe she can even help you dig it's fine with me. It doesn't bother me. Um, but last year there was several wives that came that didn't dig, and they actually set up their easels and they sat there and painted, and it was
Oh,
just
cool.
amazing. It was amazing. But yeah, again, kids 12 and under hunt for free, so keep that in mind as well. So kids 12 and under are free. One other thing I wanted to cover, and then we can open it up to some more questions if everybody keeps asking, where's a good place to stay? This is going to be out in the country on a farm. So I can't really give you an actual address. So what we'll be doing is we'll be sending out a map right before where the location is. And it's about, I would say about 10 miles, I think, outside of Pittsburgh. So there will be a drive from wherever you stay. So if you stay in Pittsburgh, there are two hotels, motels, whatever you want to call them. There are two there. One I think is called the Executive Inn, and one is called the Budget Inn, I think is the name of it. They're both about the same. I would say they look about the same on the outside. I don't know about the inside. Um, and there is also a bed and breakfast there as well, which is a little more per night, but it's a really neat old historical building. So that might be something that you might want to consider. I've got people asking about campsites. I think campsites are a little further away unless there is a RV park in between Pittsburgh going out towards Mount Pleasant. And I don't know if they've got camping spots there. But if you do have an RV, I'm sure that you could stay there. And there's another little bitty small RV park, just barely, probably 5 miles from the campsite. I mean, from the hunt site as well. So if you're bringing an RV, that might be something that you might want to look into. You can message me and I can get you the phone number for that as well. One other thing is a friend of mine that helped me last year with the hunt. I had her look up to see exactly how far Gilmer is from, because I think by the time you go on these windy farm roads, it's probably, I think, just like 2 miles difference. So Gilmer's just as close. So if you wanted to stay in Gilmer, I think there are 1 to 2 hotels there. There's an executive inn there that I know they have a pool and stuff like that. It's not that fancy. And then there's another one there. I think it's called Gilmer Inn.
And then, of course, you're opening your house, right? Don't you have like 20 spots at your
I
house?
do.
You said
I've
you.
got, yeah, and that's probably going to be out on the porch. They can just line.
That's it. In that empty
No.
swimming pool of yours, they just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Full Metal Digger was asking, is there camping allowed on the farm?
Unfortunately, we can't allow that because it's just the owner doesn't want that. And also, we'll be planting out there that evening after, so there won't be any camping out there.
Yeah. And for those of you thinking of going, I'll tell you what, we got a unique opportunity here tonight on Relics Radio. We're going to give away, through the generosity of these folks, we're going to give away to one lucky viewer here, one entry into the birthday bash hunt.
Now, hold on, wait. Is it just Saturday or is it Sunday? What is it?
I say the whole weekend.
It's just Friday. It's just Friday. No,
Just
Yes,
Friday.
Friday. You get free chili and then you got to leave.
that's it.
I'm
One
okay
picture with
it
Gypsy
being
and then
the
you're
whole
out.
weekend. And it has to be somebody that hasn't signed up already. So unless you want to give it to a friend.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it'll
that's a
be
good
Friday
idea.
and Saturday.
And Sunday.
And Sunday. Yep.
I mean-
the whole event, right?
I mean Saturday and Sunday, and of course, yeah, that automatically includes
I
Friday.
would say it's the full Monty, but that sounds sort of dirty.
So yeah, if you're
How do you do
interested,
this, DK?
well, here's what they do. You're going to type in hashtag bash, BASH. Nice, simple word, but make sure you put that hashtag in there. Hashtag bash. Just enter that in. You can try and enter it many times, but the program used to pick the winner only will pick one. It'll eliminate all duplicates. So again, even if you've signed up for it, feel free to try to enter. You can give it to a friend of yours. That would be great. Hashtag bash. We'll continue on here, and I'll be reminding you all about that a couple more times as we continue on here with the show. But towards the end, about it was sometime another 15, 20 minutes, we'll go ahead and pick that winner. Yeah, I see the entries coming in now. If you happen to just be listening, what they call lurking, and not here in the chat, come on in, come get into the chat, and make sure you just type in hashtag bash.
Well, that's the only way they can enter, right? They have to stop lurking.
They have to stop lurking and start looking.
You got to be in it to win it.
There you go. Got to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
See a lot of you coming in, typing in. That's great. Keep on doing it. If you're not entered yet, you still got a few more minutes to come on in. Yeah. So here's what I wanted to ask. So you've got a seated hunt, but a lot of people, they don't like coming to seated hunts unless there's a wild hunt aspect. So can you clear that up? Like there is a wild hunt opportunity, right?
So there was a couple homesteads. It actually used to be an old community. Across catty corner from the property, there is an old cemetery. And supposedly in this community, there was a church, there was a school, there was several homesteads. And so I myself has detected part of this property before and found things, old things. So there was also a couple old homesteads. So you also, besides the marked where we will be planting, last year there was a lot of natural. I think there was a natural old ring found out there. There was a lot of natural finds. But we've extended it to this year, the area that you can hunt natural. You can go in the wooded area. I found things in the woods as well. I even found the step that goes into an old, like a stagecoach out there. I found horseshoes. I found all kinds of stuff. I found a pocket. What do you call it? A pocket there. I can't think of the word. What's the word?
Well,
Weight. Yeah.
Let's all of us try it.
Weight.
Pocket.
Yeah, I found a weight out there. in in the wooded areas down by the creek. So I know there's more things. I found buttons there. I found, I mean, you name it. It's close to 200 acres. So I mean, there's bound to be plenty more stuff out there. A lot of area that I haven't even explored. So there's no tellings what you might find.
Have you found arrowheads out there?
So not on that particular part of the property. On the property I live on, which is about 12 miles from this hunt site, I found arrowheads and Caddo Indian pottery. But
Wow.
I do know that I would about bet down by that creek there's stuff. Uh, this whole area is a lot of Caddo Indians were here, and so I would about bet there's possibility. Now, last year there were two people there that I saw a photo, and it had to have been because I know nobody gave away an arrowhead. It showed in their findings from the hunt, and there was an arrowhead in there. So I'm assuming, I never confirmed it with that person, but I'm assuming they found that out there, as well as I have another friend that I say it wasn't an arrowhead. It might have been a work piece of something, but she swears up and down it's an arrowhead. I'm like, oh, okay, if you want to believe it.
It's
But
just
it
a
was a
shiny
natural
rock,
find.
got some dimples on it.
You know, if it wasn't planted, it was a natural find. Either
So
way.
yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
natural either way. So
So how big is the hunt area? Corey wants to know how big the hunt area is.
the actual seeded part, I couldn't tell you exactly how many acres. It's a giant, massive open field that wraps around the tree line. Last year it was so large, I only used half of the hunt field, and it just takes just to detect that one area. It takes forever. So we're extending it all the way down to the fence line, and then all the way around, and then people can go in the tree line in the forest. Um, just watch for snakes if you're going to go out there.
Yeah.
But it is Texas. A lot of snakes. I have ran across many snakes on the property. So I will tell you, if you are going to go out in the woods, just beware. Maybe wear some snake boots or tall boots or something like
You know,
that.
what type of snakes actually are out there?
Um,
Little
in this
sissy
area,
snakes?
in this area, there's a lot of water moccasins, which are poisonous. So,
Yeah, not
Well,
so sissy snakes.
You know, the thing is, though, when you've got a group of people, now, if you go off in the woods, yeah, that's something different. But like the hunt fields and all, when you got that many people pounded around, the snakes they're gonna hide.
they're going to run, hide.
If
Yes,
they can. Yep.
exactly.
That's a good
you don't
point.
know how many times I've seen snakes running to go hide.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they run from me. I've had snakes run from me. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I have.
Hey, Jeff, I'm going to put you on the spot. You're an old time. I'm sorry. I should say you're an old.
He's old
time.
guy.
You're a long time. That's what I meant to say. Seated hunt digger, let's say, participant. So give everyone out there listening some tips as far as what to bring to a seated hunt. Things to make your visit and your hunt more enjoyable, so that things don't happen that you're not prepared for. How do you prepare for a seated hunt? What do you bring?
Bring a machine that you're actually familiar with. I've seen people go to seated hunts, the brand new machine. They don't know how to set it up. They don't know, exactly how to run it. Priority one, I don't care if it's old machine. If you know how to run it, that's your best machine for this hunt. Bring a big old pouch. You can put stuff in. If it has the mesh bottom to it, even better. And multiple machines, absolutely. Always have a backup, because if something happens to that machine, it falls off the table, or you lean on it and break it. You got to have another machine, especially if you're traveling anywhere for like these hunts, whether it's a seated hunt or a natural hunt. Take multiple machines for the fact of you're going there. And if you only take one machine and something happens to it, what are you going to do? You have to ask someone for their spare, and then you don't know how to run that machine. Good luck. Another thing is speed of recovery, like Gypsy was saying. You know what? If you're spending more than 30 seconds trying to recover a target, move on. You know, these are seated hunts. Their targets are meant to be found. So,
yep, and also know your surroundings and your environment. Like Gypsy was just saying, snakes. So maybe some snake gators if you've got them. If you're planning on going into the wild hunt areas and in the woods, definitely sunscreen, right? Maybe insect repellent if you got it. You know, maybe some water. It's going to be hot, possibly. So make sure you bring plenty of water.
And
Maybe
this
a
is
few
Texas,
snacks.
so make sure you have water because it's going to be hot. Make sure you have rain gear because, well, gosh, every time at Garrett, it always rains on us.
Yeah, rain or shine, be sure. The thing about Texas weather, it may be hot. Let's just say it may be hot my day on Saturday, but the next day, Texas weather can change within that quick. A storm may roll in, and you want to be prepared. So you never know. So bring a bring
Layers.
your jackets, bring layers. You can even dress in layers. That way, if it's cool that morning, and then you can pop your wear a t-shirt underneath, and you can pop that off. Unless you want to be like Jeff and show off his muscles, and
There's all these great suggestions coming in. Extra clothes in case your pants split. Yeah.
How's that?
That never happened, would it, Butchie?
Been there, done that.
Wardrobe malfunction. My eyes still burn.
Yeah.
Hey,
Funny.
you know something we haven't mentioned, and I don't guess we've even got this in the rules, but we probably will put it in there. I would strongly suggest to have earphones because it bugs the people around you if you don't have headphones. I mean, I'm not going to say we're going to kick you out, but you're going to get a lot of ugly looks.
Yeah. And I always bring backup ear
Back up everything.
Unless you just cannot use them. Yeah.
I've seen so many people come to hunts, and I know Debbie and Garrett. A lot of them, they'll always bring extras, and they as things to fix people's stuff as well. But they may run out, or not bring enough or something. So bring extra. Or there will be a few vendors there that will have some for sale. So hopefully they'll have what you need if something messes up. But always be prepared, back up.
Just a reminder, you want entry into this event for free, and we're giving one away here in just a minute. So make sure you type in hashtag bash, BASH, all one word, hashtag bash, for your chance to enter to win a free entry into this amazing hunt in November. So real quick, let me throw out the information to it. It's the Birthday Bash 2024, November 1st through the 3rd, 2024 in Pittsburgh, Texas. Gypsy Jules and American Digger Magazine bring you this hunt. It's 2 days seated hunts and with open non-seated fields available in a historic property, including some old house sites there. All kinds of sponsors. You kidding? All kinds of sponsors. Mine Lab, Nocta, Garrett, all showing up. Fisher, all of them showing up for this one. Great support from our manufacturers out there. American Digger Magazine stepping up. Thank you, Butch. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Great magazine. If you haven't gone over there and gotten your subscription of American Digger Magazine, I'm going to go ahead and throw the link into the chat group right now. Head on over there. You're going to love it when you start receiving those magazines for sure. Hashtag bash to win your free entry. Just one more. If you're lurking out there, jump on in. I know that a lot of people have been putting out some great suggestions on what to bring. Let me see. There was one from
chairs might not be a bad idea.
That's a great idea.
It is actually on the flyer, and I think it's on the website as well, especially on the website, to bring your own chairs because I mean, occasionally some people bring extras, but bring your own chairs because remember, we're out in the country. We're not going to bring 200 chairs out there. It's just, we can't do it. So if
Here's
you
a
got
question
those
for
little
you.
folding chairs, bring them.
Yeah. Is there like a store in town in Pittsburgh where we can,
Yeah.
go get batteries or go get chairs or a
Yeah.
spade or something like that?
So in Pittsburgh, there is only like, I think, a Family Dollar and a Dollar General. So that's about it. In Gilmer, there is a Walmart. So, but yeah,
Now, the
there
great
definitely
suggestion
is.
came in from a couple of different people. They said lower your sensitivity. It will reduce interference and falsing targets. Targets probably won't be very deep, so you don't need to have your machine on 95, 96 sensitivity. It's gonna confuse you, interrupt you, and distract you basically. So that's another great tip.
Most of our targets, and I imagine Gypsy, other than maybe her caches, but most of the targets are probably going to be 2 inches deep at the most. Yeah, maybe an inch deep. Gotcha. I'm not going to dig a big deep hole 1,000 times for you guys. They're going to be shallow.
You'd have me do it.
That's right.
You'd have me do it.
That's why we're inviting you to this hunt, Jeff. And we can do a live broadcast there if you come, as well as Adventures in Dirt. You come up there, you do a live broadcast, and
that'd be fun. That'd be fun. I gotta try and talk Tony in it. That'd be a lot of fun. Teresa also said lower your discrimination. Go zero discrimination. Teresa, I saw what you did there. Getting in the zero discrimination plug for you there, Gypsy.
Thank you.
Do you Pete? Here's a good question. Let me see.
You missed it.
I missed it. Do people usually use bigger coils just to cover more area?
Some do. It will definitely cover more area. I would say though, your arm usually tires faster. If you're going to be out there for so many hours, your arm will tire. So I've seen people that use the small coils find just as much, because remember, even though we're going to be playing, you walk a couple steps and then you plant, you walk a couple steps and you plant. There's going to be targets everywhere. So you could probably get by with a smaller target, and it'll be easier on your body, easier. As for the soil, this soil is an East Texas soft sand. There are areas where it is a little bit more red clay. As you get closer to one part of the field, closer to part of where the tree line is, it kind of changes, the soil kind of changes, which tends to have a little bit more iron ore in it, I would say. So I would probably use, if you have a double D coil, it tends to handle the mineralized soil better. So, but it's really soft soil. And definitely bring your bug spray, because East Texas is usually always, not always, but a lot of mosquitoes. So,
and they're about that big, aren't they?
Yeah. And this year ticks have been pretty bad. So if you do go in the woods, you might want to make sure you got that bug spray it around your legs. But they do sometimes, when it's windy, they'll fall from the trees. So I've found, ticks crawling on here. So make sure you de-tick yourself, spray that spray.
Now, one of the things you're talking about here is that the soil conditions might have some iron stuff in it. I've seen people use the small coils, like what you're saying, at competition hunts, seeded hunts, and do well. Part of that reason is it's faster to pinpoint. You get less interference from other detectors. You also get less interference from the ground, that stuff as well. So
I agree.
Yep. Here we go. Some more pictures of some of these things that'll be out there, and just to entice you to make sure you enter #bash into the chat if you haven't already. Look at some of these things you can pull out of this hunt. There's a lot of those. We have some walkers.
Those are nice.
Morgans, man, beautiful. That's beautiful.
Some of them she's walking around. Some of them she's sitting down.
Yeah, that's right. I see some sitting. Some of them she got pretty hair. Look at that. Check these out.
That's cool.
Butch, tell me about these pictures.
They're late 1800s pictures. That's all I know. They're the real deal. They're just a prize that we picked up for the relic category of this. And you see some Indian head pennies there. There's actually going to be a lot more Indian heads coming in too. And a lot of those will be planted with a silver.
Yeah.
This is Gary Pinta came up with these fobs for us. They're going to be given away at the hunt.
He does a great job. Look
He
at
does. This is some more stuff that's been donated. This actually came from an individual, Robert Murphy. And Robert, we can't thank you enough for your help on this.
Yeah.
But you'll get to meet him as well. He'll be helping at the American Digger tent.
Isn't it great how people step up and just contribute to the
awesome.
hunts?
I mean, when he showed me all the stuff he had for us, I just was in awe of it. I was so thankful.
Is that a cut real right about there? It looks like maybe
it
it
could
is.
be. I don't know. I honestly have photographed these, and those have not even been assigned token numbers, I don't think. So
No.
I don't know what's in there. It could be. And
Yeah.
I know that there's a round of silver, an ounce of silver that was in that picture too.
Hey, that has my name on it. That one tube has my name on it.
It does.
Send that to me.
That's your payment for all the promotion you've done, Jeff. Congratulations.
1843 seated house. I need to look at this stuff a little closer.
Look at this, man. That's what my eyes went right to that. I was like, hello,
This being
sitting
the
lady.
first hunt and me wanting to make people happy because I just like happy customers. It's quite possible that I'm overspending on this hunt, but that's okay.
With
Because
silver, it's easy to
invariably
do.
Somebody's going to find 100 silver coins and somebody else is going to find one. But then again, it's how hard you hunt.
It's so easy to overspend for these hunts. Like just last weekend, I was at a treasure show set up with a booth. I was selling some of my books there.
Mhm.
And I was also talking about our upcoming hunt. And I had one of the American Digger magazines out there, and I had it also opened up to our hunt. But of course, there was a coin dealer there. And you know how that went. So I
yes.
ended up with this giant box going home. It had copper rounds, silver rounds in it. I got a bunch of halves, silver halves, a bunch of Benjis, a bunch of, I can't even remember what all, silver quarters, mercury dimes. I know I overspent. And I'm sitting here at my desk and I found this black bag sitting here and I got a stack of copper rounds just sitting in this bag. I'm like, oh, well, I know where those are going.
Oh. Well, it's funny you said that, but actually we've been creating more office space for one of our assistants an intern that works with us. And in the course of that, I found a box of silver that I didn't know I had. So
Isn't
I'm
it
like,
crazy?
I'm gonna put it in the hunt. Yeah.
Corey's coming up with a great question tonight. Appreciate it, Corey. What happens to all the stuff we miss after the hunt?
Well,
Next year's prizes or
that's
Yeah,
next year.
so
We're gonna
there will
roll it
be-
over.
There will be on part of the hunt field where I only used half of the hunt field last year. There will be stuff out there from last year's
Yeah.
hunt. It was not all found. There was tokens. So if you find a last year's token and you turn it in, I will have a little prize for you. Just turn
That's
last
great.
year's. I've got some prizes for you, so you can turn those in. Now there will also be actual tokens, because last year we did a lot of collectible tokens. Those you can't turn them in for prizes, but they, there's and then I know there's silver left out there as
Mhm.
well. I know there's a lot of silver still out there, so there'll be stuff from last year's hunt still in the ground, as well as and what's not found. I'm just gonna leave out there,
Yep.
and
great question.
Leave it
Yeah.
for seed, as we used to say on the farm.
Yep.
Just leave it
Yep.
for seed.
Because we never get it all. Doesn't matter.
That's what I would say.
Mhm. Jeff
now
and
if I decide not to have a hunt there again, maybe Butch and I will go out there.
I go do a cleanup.
That's the thing. What gets me in these hunts, and a lot of people know a lot more about them than I do. But you and I both are going to have on our prospective days a lunch period where we will go and reseed the fields while everybody takes a little break.
Yeah.
But it's amazed me before watching people that will hunt hard for the first 15 minutes and then assume, well, it's getting harder to find, I'm going in. I mean, if you want to find more, stay out there, because you're never going to hunt it all out.
You won't hunt it all out. And one
No.
other thing that I did last year, and I'm sure we'll do it this year again, if the prize tokens, the ones that are numbered, if they are not found by the end of the day, we will do a drawing for those. Those prizes are allotted to give away for these days. We've got to give them away. But the tokens that weren't found last year will still be out there. That's what I'm talking about. You find one, you bring it in, I'll give you a little prize for it. So all the prizes will be given away.
Yep. Hey, why don't we give one of the entries away? Why don't we give the hunt away tonight? All of you that entered hashtag bash into the chat. You're all entered. I think we had 28 people enter. And
Is
let's
that
give
all?
that away. That's it.
What?
I think everyone else already has tickets.
More than that. Hold on, wait. Let me get my entry in.
We
Quick,
actually
hurry up.
had a drawing on a show recently, and it didn't enter everybody. We had to do it twice, but I think everybody's entered in this one.
Yeah, you got one more chance. I'll give you 10 seconds. If you get it in there, they go. Yeah, Buckle Boy showed up a little late.
Hey,
Let's
Buckle
get all
Boy.
that in there. That's
Hashtag
good. Hashtag
bash,
bash. That's
exactly.
good. Let me see here. I'll get
And
out
if you
of
have
here.
more than once, the computer will
29.
just pick out the other ones. And
It will be. Yeah.
one chance to enter, so it's all good.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Everyone ready? 3,
Drum roll.
2, draw. And it's going through them all. It'll show us here the winner randomly picked. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Brush Popper Detecting. Ding, 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 ding. We need a sound effect. Yeah. Brush Popper
The
Detecting.
crowd goes wild.
Brush Popper Detecting. How are you? I tell you what, I'm going to throw my email in here. If I can spell. And DK at Adventures. What's that?
So congrats to Brush Popper.
Yeah, congratulations,
congrats.
man. Congratulations. And you just need to get a hold of me at DK at adventuresindirt.com. All one word, DK at adventuresindirt.com. And send me an email. And okay, Craig Thompson is Brush Popper. How you doing, Craig? Congratulations to you. Make sure you get a hold of me. You can get a hold of me on Facebook. You can send me an email. I just gave it, DK at Adventures in Dirt. If you know any of my panel tonight, you can get a hold of them. Just make sure you get me some kind of contact information for you. I'll pass it along to Gypsy and Butch, and we will make sure that you receive your free ticket into the Birthday Bash 2024, brought to you by Gypsy Jewels and American Digger magazine. Amazing. Congratulations, Craig. Awesome.
It's a great prize.
Look forward to seeing you there, Craig.
We sure will.
Hey, bring a friend. Get a friend to buy a ticket and make them come with you. They can drive.
There you go.
That's it. Make them drive, and you can buy the water. Excellent, man. Congratulations. And thank you too for pushing that out and offering that out. American Digger Magazine and Gypsy Jewels.
You're welcome.
Absolutely amazing. So where are we heading? Real quick, Butch, you also got trips to England coming up. What do you
I do. Oh my gosh, I don't have the date in front of me. It's
October.
in October, and the trip is full. It's been full since the first of the year, but this year Jeff has already been to England on the American Digger tour, and then I'll be going in October, and then people are already asking, what about next year? Well, if we know, we're not going to say, because we want everybody to have a fair shake at it, but we will make the announcement on January the 1st, and also in the January issue of the magazine, if we're going to have a trip to England again next year, or possibly two. And if we do, and you want to go, I would suggest you sign up within a week. Thank you, Teresa, the treasure hunter.
Yep.
Teresa is a veteran over there. We're going to make her one of the detecting guides, and it's a heck of a time, though, as she can tell you.
It go those trips go quick. Yep. So once they announce it, you got to jump on it. England's fun. England's
It
just,
is.
it's an experience. We talk about it on the show all the time.
When I found my oldest dated coin in 1575, and when I saw that date on it, I couldn't comprehend it. And people were finding
But you
things.
found older coins than that, Butch.
What?
You found coins that are from the 1100s in there as well.
Yes, but this was a silver coin and it had a date on it. You can tell me it's from 12 BC, but unless it says 12 BC on the coin, I just don't believe it. And very few coins say BC on them, I found out. Very few.
Yeah,
So,
shoot.
yeah.
It's great. Gypsy, where are you heading next? So you've been mobile and stuff. I know you're involved with a lot of cameras pointing at you and such. And where are you headed?
Well, I just got back from Roatan, Honduras, for some filming over there. That was a blast. That was definitely a trip of a lifetime for me. Never would I have ever thought I'd been on some remote island out there in the Caribbean like that, but it was a blast. Supposed to go back in February, I think, first finish up some more filming there. But next, I think I'll be doing some filming, if not before then, in Arkansas. I'll be going to Arizona.
Very cool.
So
Always wanted to see
forward to that.
Honduras. Always wanted to see Honduras.
It was gorgeous. I'll have a video. Now, I did get to metal detect the beach while I was there. Something that was interesting that I found out about that area, because I was wondering why I wasn't finding any coins. They don't use coins anymore. It's just all bills.
Really?
That's all they use. So
Where are the coins at?
so yeah, it was crazy. I was detecting the beach for just a little while. I ended up finding 2 rings, and I ended up finding 2 old coins that I haven't cleaned up. And I found 2 American pennies. So,
How about that over in Honduras?
over in Honduras,
I see them found all over the place.
right?
Yeah.
I think if you went to the moon, you'd find some.
Yeah. Real quick, I'm putting Gypsy's YouTube channel in there. Zero discrimination.
Thank you.
You guys go check that out. She'll have that video out pretty soon. But
Yeah,
Jeff, what do you have coming up?
You know what? I'm going to be heading to Florida to Destin for a quick weekend, just a long weekend, realistically, just to get away. I'm going to take a detector or 2. I was hoping to have my vortex by then, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Hey, a little birdie told me maybe within the next 2 weeks. So when are you going?
First weekend in October.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah, we're gonna have Steve Moore here on the show. We wanted to kind of wait until they were shipping and stuff, but as soon as we get the high sign that they're shipping, we'll definitely have Steve Moore on Relics Radio here. It'll be a good show, and we invite you all to tune in for that. So, any final words from any of you before we start going to the outro here? And like all the time, I'll have you wait in the green room so we can say our goodbyes off the air. But Butch, go ahead. Any final thoughts?
Well, I was just going to say, you can sign up for this hunt through Gypsy's website, which I think, did somebody put that up?
I did, yeah.
Gypsy.com, and go to the event page, click on events, and it'll pop right up. You'll see America Digger magazine logo right at the top, and then scroll down and you can click on both days are separate. So if you've already signed up for mine and you just need to sign up for America Diggers, you can click on that and then go from there.
That's right. And also, we have added a link on our website now that takes you directly to that. So Wonderful. If you go to AmericanDigger.com, you can still click on the birthday bash hunt, and it will take you right to Gypsy's sign-up page for either hunt or both hunts, which we're hoping everyone will just make it a weekend. A lot easier, a lot more fun.
There you go.
Right.
Both links in the chat. Also put them down in the description. You can find it over there very easy. Craig, be sure to email me at dk@adventuresindirt.com or find me on Facebook. And how about you, Jeff? Any final parting words for the group?
I don't, make sure you sign up, have a good time, because these are always a blast, these events. And they're more than just the detecting. It's meeting the people. It's sharing stories. it's so much more than just a simple event. It's way more.
Yeah.
You won't regret it, I promise.
Great. Well, guys, thanks a lot for joining me here on Relics Radio. I appreciate your time, taking time out of your day to come tell us about this amazing event and spending time with our viewers and listeners. We really appreciate you. I'm going to put you down in the green room and we'll say goodbye off the air. Thanks again. And yeah, so you can catch me everywhere on social media at Adventures in Dirt. Adventures in Dirt. I said too many things tonight. Adventures in Dirt, anywhere on social media, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all the things. Catch my weekly show, The Weekly Dirt, where I feature you, the metal detectors out there and the things you're finding and the things they're finding across the world. And I invite you to go take a look at that. What else is going on? Check out 5280 Adventures. Which you're watching now. You might be watching it on my YouTube channel or Facebook, or might be watching it on Tony's 5280 Adventures YouTube channel, but go check that out. He's always putting out some great videos. Look down the same. If you're listening to the replay on Spreaker.com, we got 7 years of shows. Go ahead and scroll through them, do a search, find some of the great guests we've had over there. And make sure you stay in touch. If you guys go out this weekend, you know what I always say, go find the good stuff and tell me about it. Be safe. We'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you so much for listening to Relics Radio. We will see you back here next week for another exciting guest. Until then, get out and dig it all.